Many years ago, the largest carrack of its time, Flor de la Mar, was entrusted with the task of transporting the Portuguese governor's vast treasure, acquired from the plundering of the opulent palace of the Sultan of Malacca, back to Portugal. However, tragedy struck when Flor de la Mar, laden with the treasure, set sail from Malacca in late 1511. While navigating the waters near the northeastern Sumatran state of Aceh in the Strait of Malacca, the ship sank, taking the treasure with it. To this day, the whereabouts of the treasure, believed to be priceless today, remains a mystery. Flor de la Mar. Flor de la Mar was constructed in Lisbon in the year 1502 and quickly gained a reputation as one of the most remarkable vessels of its era. She was specifically designed for the Portuguese India run, a vital maritime route that facilitated trade with the East. Weighing in at an impressive 400 tons, Flor de la Mar was the largest carrack ever built at that time, nearly double the size of the largest ships that had previously undertaken such voyages. Her maiden voyage began in 1502 with Estevão da Gama, a cousin of the renowned explorer Vasco da Gama, at the helm. During this inaugural journey from Portugal to India, Flor de la Mar successfully navigated the seas, but on her return trip faced significant challenges. Loaded with a valuable cargo of spices, her considerable size and weight posed serious maneuverability issues, particularly in the perilous currents of the Mozambique Channel, especially around the notorious Cape Corrientes. Eyewitness Tomé Lopes chronicled the vessel's troubles, noting that it began to spring leaks and was forced to dock on Mozambique Island for repairs that lasted nearly 2 months. After overcoming these difficulties, Flor de la Mar finally arrived back in Portugal in late 1503. In March 1505, she embarked on another voyage to India, this time under the command of João da Nova, and was part of the formidable 7th Portuguese India Fleet, which comprised 22 ships, and was tasked with establishing colonial dominance in the region. This fleet carried Dei Francisco de Almeida, who served as the first viceroy of Portuguese India. However, the return trip in 1506 would prove just as treacherous as the last. Once again in the Mozambique Channel, the ship encountered severe issues, including leaks that forced her to dock on Mozambique Island for extensive repairs. This time, the ship would be beleaguered by challenges in the channel for nearly 10 months. Captain Nova made multiple attempts to navigate her out of the channel, but the heavily laden vessel repeatedly succumbed to damage, requiring him to return to the island for repairs. In February 1507, nearly 1 year after leaving India, Flor de la Mar was discovered still stranded in Mozambique by the outgoing 8th India Armada, led by Tristão da Cunha. Recognizing the strategic value of the ship, Cunha ordered his crews to assist in restoring her to a seaworthy condition. They meticulously unloaded the cargo of spices onto another vessel bound for Portugal, commanded by Antonio de Saldanha, and integrated the now empty Flor de la Mar and her crew into his armada, which was once again bound for India. Flor de la Mar, alongside her captain João da Nova, then participated in Cunha's expedition to conquer the island of Socotra. To Nova's astonishment, Cunha ordered the ship to remain in the western Arabian Sea, where she was assimilated into the patrol squadron commanded by Afonso de Albuquerque. In this capacity, Flor de la Mar played a significant role in the acquisition of key coastal cities, contributing to the conquests of Curiati, modern-day Curiat, Muscat in July 1507, and Khor Fakkan, as well as accepting the surrenders of the cities of Kalhat and Sohar, and capturing Ormuz, all within the same year. In 1509, Flor de la Mar had become the flagship for Dei Francisco de Almeida in a crucial naval engagement known as the Battle of Diu. Tragically, João da Nova passed away later that year in Cochin, and Almeida, upon concluding his term as viceroy, harboured the intention of returning Flor de la Mar to Portugal. He meticulously planned to repair her for the journey home. However, with a directive from his successor, Afonso de Albuquerque, the plans were thwarted and Albuquerque decreed that Flor de la Mar remain in India, assigning Almeida a different ship for his return voyage. By 1511, under the leadership of Afonso de Albuquerque, the Portuguese aimed to capture Malacca, a wealthy trading centre located on the Malay Peninsula. Gaining control of Malacca would allow them to dominate the profitable spice trade that connected the East Indies, India, and the West. The conquest was brutal, but ultimately successful. The Portuguese overthrew Sultan Mahmud Shah and seized vast amounts of treasure from the royal palace and local merchants. Among the riches were gold coins, jeweled artifacts, ceremonial weapons, and rare spices. Estimates suggest that the total value of these treasures could be worth billions in today's terms. This enormous bounty was loaded onto the Flor de la Mar, which Albuquerque personally designated for transporting the spoils back to Portugal. The Fateful Journey. The Flor de la Mar departed from Malacca in late 1511, fully laden with priceless treasures and accompanied by several other vessels. As the fleet approached the Strait of Malacca, located between Sumatra and the Malay Peninsula, the Flor de la Mar encountered a violent storm. The aging ship, already known for its structural deficiencies and inadequate rudder system, could not withstand the assault. The ensuing chaos caused it to run aground on treacherous shoals, resulting in catastrophic loss of life and the complete destruction of the vessel. The Flor de la Mar eventually sank during a harrowing night on November 20th, 1511, off Timia Point in the Kingdom of Aru, Sumatra. Most of the treasure sank along with the ship. Some survivors were rescued by nearby vessels, including Albuquerque himself, but the vast, shimmering, and historically invaluable cargo was lost, never to be recovered. Tragically, more than 400 crew members and soldiers aboard the ship also perished, marking one of the most significant maritime disasters of the period. To this day, the Flor de la Mar remains undiscovered, resting at the bottom of the ocean. Modern account of the loss. Contemporary accounts of the disaster vary slightly, noting that the ship encountered a violent storm while navigating the treacherous waters along the coast of Sumatra. In a desperate attempt to find safety, the crew sought refuge along the shoreline, but fate intervened and the ship ultimately wrecked on a sandy beach. The force of the waves caused the vessel to break apart, with the stern becoming lodged in the sand and eventually crushed by the relentless surf. Tragically, the immense treasure aboard was lost along with the ship. However, some reports suggest that a portion of the treasure may have been salvaged by either the surviving Portuguese crew or local inhabitants shortly after the wreck. Search for the wreck. Despite the uncertainties surrounding the fate of the treasure, many attempts have been made over the years to locate the remains of the Flor de la Mar, and numerous claims of discovering the shipwreck have emerged, but none have been definitively verified. One notable attempt took place in 1992, when treasure hunter Bob Marks announced that he had found the ship after only 3 days of exploration. However, the project faced immediate challenges, and rumours of the ship's discovery prompted a premature halt to the expedition. It is believed that the chances of finding any wreckage from the ship are slim due to the notoriously rough conditions of the seas in that region, characterized by strong currents and unpredictable weather. Furthermore, since the wreck occurred on a beach rather than in open water, it is likely that some of the cargo was recovered by locals or survivors before it could be entirely lost to the sea. And while some treasure would have inevitably sunk to the ocean floor, The area surrounding the supposed wreck site is known for its zero-visibility diving conditions, muddy seabed, and strong currents, all of which present significant challenges for treasure hunting efforts. The search for the long-lost shipwreck has also sparked significant controversy over the centuries, with multiple nations claiming salvage rights. Portugal, Indonesia, and Malaysia each assert their historical connections to the potential treasure linked to the vessel. As a consequence, the valuable artifacts that may lie hidden beneath the waters still remain elusive. Legacy. The lost treasure of the Flor de la Mar has captivated the imaginations of both storytellers and audiences. It plays a significant role in the 2022 BBC Doctor Who episode titled Legend of the Sea Devils, where it is a key element of the plot. Additionally, the wreck and its legendary treasure are briefly mentioned in both the early and closing segments of the critically acclaimed 2016 video game Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. In this installment, characters Jameson and Elena attempt to persuade Nathan Drake, the protagonist of the series, to embark on a dangerous mission to salvage the wreck, even without the necessary permits. This highlights the enduring allure of the Flor de la Mar and its lost riches. Today, a replica of the Flor de la Mar is prominently showcased at the Maritime Museum of Malacca, highlighting its storied legacy. The fate of the treasure from the Flor de la Mar remains a captivating mystery. Over the years, many expeditions have attempted to locate the wreck, but challenges such as its sinking location and the rough waters of the Malacca Strait have made progress difficult. While some treasure hunters believe that advancements in technology may lead to its discovery, others think the treasure could be buried too deeply and lost forever.